Joining me now is Congressman Brad Sherman, whose district is in the heart of the Palisades fire in L.A. County. First of all, let me say, Congressman, I'm glad that you and your family are safe in Washington, but I'm sure you have many family and friends, besides constituents, obviously, who are caught in the middle of this. What are you hearing about the situation on the ground?
Obviously, it's tough. The Palisades fire has caused 30,000 people to evacuate. So far, thank God, we don't have any deaths. Of course, heart goes out to the folks affected by the Eaton fire, where they have had a couple of deaths.
The press conference this morning, I think, as I listened to it, was pretty ominous. They said all of L.A. County is in danger. I wonder if you're getting any sense from fire officials of their realistic prospects for getting this fire under control, for doing whatever they can to limit the damage at this point, although it seems like the situation is pretty dire.
Well, you've got the Eaton, the Woodley, and the Hearst fires, in addition to the Palisades fire. Thank God we've got firefighters coming in from several western states to help us out. I think it'll be a long time before the Palisades fire is contained.
What are your hopes for that neighborhood? We just spoke with a local resident, a guy named Gary Hurwitz, and he was talking about the fact that his kids were evacuated out of the school. They've gone up to Ventura County. They've gotten basically as far away as they can because it's obviously been a traumatic experience. But he actually watched video on local news to see that he thinks that his house isn't standing anymore. Do you have any sense right now of the extent of the damage?
We're talking about 1,000 structures so far, and we're in the middle of this. We have no idea what it'll be before it's all out. I want to urge everyone in the area to prepare their to-go bag, to be ready to leave if they're directed to do so. I want to remind them that if you face a mandatory evacuation, your fire insurance should cover the hotel costs. But we do have evacuation centers at Westwood Community Center, and they'll let you take your pets there, or at El Camino Charter High School. So don't hesitate, and certainly if you're told to leave, leave, and be prepared to leave.
Congressman, if you could stay with me for a second, I want to bring in NBC's Vaughn Hilliard, who is reporting on concerns surrounding President-elect Trump's repeated threats to deny wildfire assistance to California. Vaughn, what can you tell us about that?
Right. This goes back to his first administration, but also as recently as a campaign stop that he made in the Coachella Valley in October, in the weeks before his 2024 election. I want to let you listen to some of President-elect Trump's past comments about his criticisms of Governor Newsom and forest management in California. Take a listen.
We won't give him money to put out all his fires. And if we don't give him the money to put out his fires, he's got problems. He's a lousy governor.
We're going to take care of your water situation, and we'll force it down his throat. And we'll say, Gavin, if you don't do it, we're not giving you any of that fire money that we send you all the time for all the forest fires that you have.
Of course, this is a longstanding fight that the president-elect has waged with particularly the governor of California, suggesting that they are not putting enough resources towards wildfire management, forest management. To be very clear, billions of dollars have been approved by Governor Newsom and the California Assembly towards forest management over these years. Of course, another issue of concern here is the amount of water supply down through the Palisades and the extent to which Los Angeles County had the management or the resources in order to pump through that water supply. But of course, I think that is where you're getting into a lot of the details in a lot of President-elect Trump and others who are using this moment to criticize the Democrats in the state of California, Chris.
Vaughn, thank you for that. So, Congressman, I mean, you have the threats by Donald Trump. That local resident in Pacific Palisades that I told you about, Darren Hurwitz, he talked about his concerns about taking climate change and its impact more seriously. With the incoming administration, what's your level of concern?
Well, thank God President Biden has already approved the firefighting grants, and I'm leading a group of members of Congress and working with Senator Padilla and Schiff to get a major disaster designation. And we need to do that as soon as possible for a lot of reasons, but especially because Donald Trump at least talks about playing politics with this. I voted for disaster relief for a host of other states, including states that tend to vote for the Republican Party. And I don't think the American people want Donald Trump discriminating in disaster relief based on whether your state voted this way or that way in a presidential election. I can't think of a worse way to decide how to respond to a disaster. As to the forest management, this is Pacific Palisades, inside the city limits of Los Angeles. It's a suburban area. It's a beautiful suburban area. This is not forest management. This is not a forest. This is a town.
Congressman Brad Sherman, thank you. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today.